The story of Grizzly Adams is big and powerful and beautiful. They call me Mad Jack. And me and my burro number 7 been traipsing these slopes and valleys for a long spell, so I know the story from the beginning. My friend Adams was accused of a crime he didn't commit. So he escaped into the mountains, leaving behind the only life that he ever knew. Now that wilderness out there ain't no place for a greenhorn, and his chances of surviving were mighty slim. Weren't no time at all for he was beaten down, ragged, and nearly starved. Long about then, he come upon a grizzly bear cub, all alone and helpless. Now, Adams knew that little critter couldn't survive without his help, so he started right down that cliff, risking his own life to save it. Now, that cub took to Adams right off, and that was when he discovered he had a special kind of way with animals. They just come right up to him like he was a natural part of the wilderness. But that bear cub, he was extra special. As he growed, he became the best friend Adams ever had, and together they became a legend.
Maybe there's a world where we don't have to run. Maybe there's a time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home.
If you was to ask a mountain man what he likes most about where he lives, he'd say the bigness of everything. The mountains, the valleys, the wilderness gives a fella a sense of freedom. Mother Nature never seems to hold a tight rein on you. The only drawback to this bigness is that it puts a limit on the number of friends you have, unless, of course, you happen to be one of the critters in the forest. The friendships they share is as limitless as the wilderness itself. But with us humans, the friends a fella makes becomes a heap more meaningful. And I gotta admit that when it comes to friends, I sure have made some good ones in these mountains. Now, I didn't know it, of course, but the friendship I cherish most in the world, the one with James Adams, was about to be put to a test. I was returning from a trip to the settlement, and being my birthday, why, naturally, I had mixed feelings. I was hoping no one would remember it, but I also knowed I was going to be pretty disappointed if they forgot it. Concentrating so hard on the problem, I didn't pay any notice to a strange feeling that was beginning to come over me. Maybe if I did, things might have turned out different.
We're doing this for Jack's birthday party, Ben.
Well, thank you, Mary Lou. Dano?
These flowers are gonna look real pretty on the table.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Jack's gonna appreciate just one candle on the cake.
You know, if we were to put all the candles that belong on the cake, we'd probably pass out from the heat. Shh. Don't you tell Jack I said that.
How do you like this, Ben? I'm carving it for Jack. Well, it's supposed to be number 7. Well, I know it needs a little work. Just give me a little time. It'll look just like him when I'm through with it.
Whilst Adams was fixing to get ready for the party, I was heading for his cabin, but suddenly it appeared like I wasn't going to make it. Something hit me real hard. I didn't know it at the time, but it was a fever that had been going around the settlement. Now, the fever's nothing to mess with. It knocks the props right out from under you. Makes you do weird things, see weird things. So I just decided to take a nap and try to sleep off whatever it was that was ailing me.
Now, knowing Adams is wanted for a crime he had nothing to do with, I'm always ripping down the posters every time I see him. Now they was gonna come in mighty handy. Number 7, you might as well get yourself some rest, too. Now, when number 7 started looking like a goose, I should have known the fever had set in full. And I guess the change that was going to take place in my character started about then. Leastwise, it was the last time for a long time I was going to be the sweet, gentle, lovable mountain man folks would know. Well, stop your honking and get some rest. Now, whilst I was up to my neck in troubles, in another part of the mountains, a mama bear and her young'un were even worse off than I was. Early spring rains had loosened the hillside, so there was no warning for the rock slide that began tumbling itself down. The slide trapped that cub's mama and sent the cub off helter-skelter, but luckily Ben had heard all the ruckus and come to see what it was all about. Ben knowed something had happened to the cub's mama, but he didn't know what, and there was no time to find out, so he tried calming that cub down best he could and took it on back with him.
Morning, Ben. Well, who'd you bring back here, Ben? Howdy. How are you, little cub? Did you lose your mama? This little fella lost his mama, didn't he, Ben? Hello, little guy. Well, why don't you come with Ben and I will go see if we can find your mom for you. Come on.
When I woke up from my nap, my fever was worse than ever. I'd heard tell it could reach a point where you didn't know who you are, and I was a living proof. I began to think I was somebody else. I not only took on his name, but his miserable disposition. I was Brett Carson, the bounty hunter.
What's the matter? Ain't you never seen a bounty hunter before? A bounty hunter! That's who.
I'm Brett Carson, the world's greatest bounty hunter, and don't you forget it. That there's the man I'm out to get. That no-good scoundrel, James Caffin Adams. And I'm gonna capture him with the help of my good friend there, Charlie. And there ain't no use in you hiding from us, James Adams. 'Cause I always gets my man.
goes for you too, hombre. Take off that mask. I know who you are. I said take it off. It ain't gonna do no good for you to hide. I always get my man. And that goes for the rest of you hombres. And don't you forget it. All right, Charlie. Let's go find him. I said, come on, Charlie. Charlie, I'm warning you. You better start moving before I count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's better. Nobody messes around with the world's greatest bounty hunter.
Ben, maybe that's who we're looking for. I guess not. Hey, Cub seems to know where he's headed. Come on.
Is that our man? That's him. James Adams. And he's traveling with a grizzly bear and a cub. He's gonna be a mean hombre. Well, I'll use the old decoy trick on him. The same one I used to catch her Wildcat Watson. Ooh, was he a mean hombre, that Watson? Why, he was so mean that his mama used to give him rattles when he was a kid with a snake still attached. Now, Adams will think somebody's sitting behind that log. Come over here to find out.
Well, Ben, you sure look like you know where you're going.
When he comes over to see who's under the hat, I'll pounce on him like a hog and tiger tie him. I'll pounce on him like a tiger and hog tie him.
Look at Ben, looks like there's a stranger out here.
It's working.
Let's go say howdy.
Get back. Get. Let that hat go. Bring that hat back here.
Somebody just left an old hat.
Well, I can still sneak up on him. A wolf? Now, what's a wolf doing down there? Get out! Wolf, you're keeping Brett Carson from doing his work. Now, get. That's better. As Adams was a-passing the beaver pond, something unusual caught his eye. A beaver that wasn't working. Not knowing the mama bear was in trouble, Adams took time out to see what was ailing him.
Ben, you look after the cub. What's wrong, little fella? It's not like you fellas to be lazy when there's work to be done. You feel all right?
Ben was impatient to get going, but Adams didn't notice as he was working over the beaver. Brett Carson, you must be coming down with a cold or something. But we ain't gonna let that stop us. Come on, Charlie.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with you on the outside, little fella. You know, I think you just got a good old-fashioned tummy ache. You'll be all right.
Whilst Adams was busy at the pond, he had no idea the bounty hunter was heading for the top of the hill behind him.
You know, you just don't look like that little eager beaver you should. I think you just need some good old-fashioned sweet flag. You feel just fine then.
He's a sitting duck. That log right over there'll do the trick. I was out of my head with that fever, or I wouldn't have planned on doing to Adams what I was planning to do. I'll just use this pole, give that old log a nudge, and it'll go rolling down there and bowl Adams into the pond, and then I'll just run down there and have him dead to right. Whilst the bounty hunter was plotting Adams' capture, he didn't know that Ben had gone up the hill to take a rest. Now, if there's one thing that Ben gets fiercely upset about, it's something disturbing his rest.
I want you to just rest here a spell. And pretty soon, that sweet flag root I gave you is going to make you feel as good as new. Oh, hi, Ben. Now, Ben, I must say that you sound a little put out when you got up from your nap. Now, you're going to have to watch yourself. We got a young one here, and you're going to have to set a good example for him. Well, I know, little fella. We'll be going off looking for your mama just as soon as our patient... Well, looky there. He's feeling better already. He's going off to join his friends. Now that the beavers are all settled, let's go about finding that cub's mama, Ben.
Uh-huh. You ain't off that away. That Adams thinks he's out-slickered me. He doesn't know that I'm not only the world's greatest bounty hunter, but I'm also the world's greatest trapper. Did I ever tell you the time down in the Yukon when I tracked this polar bear through a blinding snowstorm blindfolded? Of course, it isn't every day you get a blindfolded polar bear. Just a little humor there to ease the tension. Wonder if he's laughing at me or with me. Come on, Charlie.
Hold it, Ben. Easy. Well, that doesn't sound like your mama, but I think we better have us a look, Ben. Come on. Sounds more like a small animal, Ben. And it sounds like he's in trouble. Oh, looky, Ben. It's all right, little fella. I'll get you out of there. Here you go. Come here. You can't run off till I see if you're all right. Let me look at you. Well, you seem fine. Ben, you know, I thought we got rid of all the traps in this area. You run on and see if you can stay out of trouble. We'll come back here later today and get rid of this and see if we can find any others we missed. Well, I know we're supposed to be looking for your mama, little cub. We're going. Come on, Ben.
Just the prints I've been looking for. Bear's footprint and Adam's paw print. I mean, well, it don't make no difference anyway. That scoundrel Adams probably leaves a paw print wherever he goes. Well, there ain't gonna be nothing to this. I just follow these prints and I track him down like I did the most notorious killer in all the high country, old Peg-Leg Pete. He had 10 notches on his gun and a dozen more on his leg. But I got him. Well, all of a sudden he turned off this way. Come on, Charlie. Are you a-comin'? How's come you're such a stubborn critter? You won't pay any attention to me until I call you at least 6 or 7 times. That's more like it. Careful, Charlie. He may be trying to ambush us. Looks like somebody's been here. There he is. Thinks he's getting away from me. I'll use my diversionary tactic. And when he comes to find out where it came from, I'll nail him. Well, it ain't funny, Charlie.
Well, which way shall we head now, Ben? Think we should follow the cub? Well, I'm with you, Ben. You haven't let me down so far.
Oh, no, you don't. I was here first. Ah, get out of here. Get out.
Що ж, Nakoma?
While Adams was looking for the mama bear, he ran into Nakoma on his way home from the settlement. When Adams told him about the problem, Nakoma offered to help. Not a word. Number 7 knowed I was out of my head, of course, and he was determined to do everything he could to keep Brett Carson from doing any harm to Adams.
Charlie, you're supposed to be on my side. Now, be quiet.
All right, Ben, we're coming. Nakoma, that landslide's covered up the bear's cave. That's probably how you got separated from your ma, isn't it? Either she got frightened and ran off, or she's stuck inside that cave, Nakoma.
I'll go to Bailak, call me.
You're right, Nakoma. Ben, your keen sense of smell will tell us if she's in there or not. We got a lot to do, Nakoma.
Davok.
I know how you feel. We're working as fast as we can, little fella.
There he is. And he's got an Indian working with him. Well, don't they make a neat little package? I'll just bring in the two of them and double the bounty. They're not going to be easy to sneak up on. Not with that bear there. I'll have to use one of my Brett Carson disguises. Same way I did when I captured Sourdough Sam. I disguised myself as a burro, hitched myself to his wagon, and pulled him right up to the jail. Did I have the last hee-haw on him? I got it. The perfect disguise. They'll never know what fell on them. There was a cougar nearby, but I didn't see him. Pretty clever, huh, Charlie? What'd you expect? A redwood? No. The idea is to sneak up on them a little bit at a time. Get out of here, you pesky little critter. Don't you know you're holding up the world's greatest bounty hunter? Now just get. That's more like it.
As soon as we find your mama, we'll get back and get ready for that party. I know that'll be a nice surprise for Jack. He deserves a party. He's a good man. Solid as a tree.
There was someone else cooking up a surprise for me, that cougar. My being in his territory had upset that cougar, and he was determined to do something about it. This is it. This is where I make my final charge. When that cougar started his charge, it sure looked like Brett Carson's bounty hunting days was over. But that cougar were just going where things was quieter, that's all.
That about does it, Nakoma. Doesn't look like she's in there. Ben, why don't you stay out here and take care of your friend? Nakoma and I are gonna go in and look around. You stick around here. Watch your head, Nakoma.
Get out of here. I just resigned as a tree.
I'm sorry, little fella. Your mama's not in here. Come on, Nakoma. Don't you worry, little fella. We'll find her. She can't be too far off. You know, at one point in there, I thought I felt some fresh air. You know, I think maybe there could be another way out of there.
Yeah, you hook.
Yeah, you're right. There were a lot of tunnels leading off in there. So dark, I couldn't see anything, though. How about if we go up and look around the other side? Maybe she found another way out of there. Let's go. It's mighty solid through here, Nakoma. Nakoma, Ben's onto something. Good boy, Ben. Ben's found her, Nakoma. Come on, little cub. Ben's found your mama. There's an opening here, Nakoma. Howdy, Mama. We got somebody out here for you. She's in there, Nakoma. She's all right. Hang on, girl. We gotta get this log out of here. You ready? Okay. Just a few more branches, Nakoma. Come on out, Mama. Your cub's down below waiting for you. Well, there go two happy bears, Nakoma. Thank you, Ben.
Molly Rima. I
know you gotta get back to your village, Nakoma. Thank you. Come on, Ben, let's go.
Now, animals is only animals, of course, but the animals who live at the cabin had heard so much palaver about the birthday party Adams was planning that Joshua, Mary Lou, and Dan'l began to prepare themselves for the festivities. In their own way, of course.
Well, Ben, I think we're just about ready for the party. Why don't you get out of the stream and freshen up a little bit? After all that digging, a nice cool bath in the stream would feel good. I'll come down and join you in a few minutes. You know, Mary Lou, Dan'l, I kind of thought Jack would be here by now. Well, maybe it's better he's not. Make the party more of a surprise for him.
When he seen Adams, Brett Carson began planning a little surprise party of his own. Yeah. That Adams is a cagey one. Got two hideouts. He's gone into the cabin. Now's my chance. I'll just take him. Adams had been mighty cagey, but Brett Carson was about to make the biggest capture of his entire life.
Adam!
Who's out there?
Nakoma.
Why would Nakoma do a thing like that? Howdy, Nakoma.
Shodaji.
How you feeling?
Biele de dag.
Fine? You know, there's been a lot of fever going around.
Al Sheikh.
What'd you bring?
Ina Guk.
Gifts. For Jack? I bet you I know who baked those cakes. Lean walking woman, huh? That was mighty thoughtful of her. Come on, let's take him inside before Jack sees her. Keep him a surprise.
So that's how they work it. They're in cahoots. The Indian steals the loot and turns it over to the mastermind, Adams. We'll just take them both. Shh. For a couple of cagey birds, they're sure making it easy for me. You stay here. Shh.
Who's out there?
Brett Carson, the world's greatest bounty hunter.
That's Jack's voice.
Now I'll let you two out if you promise to go quietly. What's it gonna be?
There's something wrong with him. Till we find out, we better go along with him. All right. We'll go along with you quietly.
It's smart. All right. I'll use Brett Carson's famous foot snare on him. Now, what I'll do is I'll make a noose in front of the door. When Adams comes out and puts his foot in it, I'll say, now, and that'll be your signal to take off. That'll trip him and jerk him down, then I'll pounce on him like a tiger. Quiet, Charlie. Now. All right, Adams. I want you to come out, but not until I tell you. Now remember, the word is now. Adams, come out alone. One at a time. Single file.
It's all right, Ben. It's okay.
I got you now.
It's all right, Jack. Just take it easy.
What? You're messing with Brett Carson, the world's greatest bounty hunter.
Nakoma?
You don't know it, but the two of you are under arrest.
Watch him, Nakoma. He's got the fever. We gotta get some medicine for him.
You're in big trouble, Indian.
I want you to drink that. It'll break your fever. Cover him up.
Now, are you two gonna come peaceably, or do I have to?
Cradle his head.
Them's the two varmints I've been looking for. All right, you two. This is it. I'm taking you in.
Now, Jack.
Don't give me that Jack stuff. I'm Brett Carson, the world's greatest bounty hunter.
We better go along with him, Nakoma. The fever's broken, but he still don't know who he is.
We're
just gonna have to figure out some way to shock him.
You know something? You're meaner looking in real life than you are in your posters. Put your hands out here. Now, you Indian. Put your hands out. All right. When Brett Carson gets on somebody's trail, he brings them in. Let's just get to moving. Come on, Charlie. When I collect the bounty, the double bounty, that is, you and me is gonna be riding in clover, Charlie. Adams knowed it would take a shock and a mighty big one to bring me back to normal.
You know the best thing we could do, Nakoma? To shock old Jack would be to throw him in this pond here. I want you to go into your Indian dance, all right? All right, go ahead.
All right, Indian. What you... Now, wait. Now, wait a minute. What are you... Hold it. You can't do this to the world's greatest bounty hunter. Stop! Well, that tears it. I'm gonna... Adams, Nakoma, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? I ain't been wet all over since December of '42.
Well, the world's greatest bounty hunter was gonna take Nakoma and I in.
Oh, he was he? Well, we'll just see about that. There ain't no low-down skunk gonna take my friends in. Why, I'll tie him in a knot and throw him to the buzzards. You two fellers are the best friends a man ever had, and I'm not gonna let... Well, I mean it, number 7. Coma, I want to thank you for this. I appreciate it. Isn't that pretty, Ben? Look at that.
Golduck.
And Adams, thank you. Look at there, number 7. That's you. and most of all, I want to thank you all for showing up today and honoring me. And I just want to tell you I'm grateful to be getting my friends back.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, from the way I acted today, I'm sure I lost you for a while.
Never, Jack.
Balada.
Coma's right. You never lost us. That's what real friends are all about. Having patience and understanding. But when things go wrong with your friends.
Yeah, well, I guess I sure learned that today. Oh, hey, look.
That's something the animals even appreciate, Jack. It's having real friendship.
Deep inside the forest is a door into another land. Here is our life and home. We are staying here forever in the beauty of this place all alone. We keep on hoping, maybe there's a world where we don't have to run, and maybe time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home, take me home.